Yep. Kind of did a thing. So I uploaded my first video to YouTube roughly about 3 years ago, January 1st, 2023. It was a video in honor of the legendary biggest dork in bait making, Mr. Christopher Jones. And 2023 was a pretty good year. However, I lost my job, and that kind of changed things a little bit. So I kind of spent most of the year aimlessly wandering around trying to figure out what to do. But one thing was for certain, I definitely didn't want to go back to whatever it was I was doing. So luckily, I was able to find some contracting work with an old friend and mentor. And then in December of 2023, I started 8-Bit Baits, an adventure that I had no idea where it would take me, but here we are.
Thank you so much for choosing Starbucks. What can I get started for you?
Hi, can I please have a grande white chocolate mocha with extra whip in a venti cup?
That white mocha.
Awesome, thank you so much. Now, 2024 was an amazing year for the channel. I mean, we soared through 2024. 8-Bit was starting to pick up momentum. So many creators helped me out, hopped on board. I can't thank each and every one of you enough. I really appreciate the Squid Squadron out there supporting 8-Bit Baits. And we hit 6,000 subscribers there at the end of 2024, and really felt like we had some momentum. This could be a very real thing. First year was really good for the company, and because I was doing contracting work, I was able to put a lot of the money back into 8-Bit, expand product lines, real quickly, and kind of setting the stage for, 2025. So fast forward to where we are now, my contracting gig turned into a full-time job here in 2025, which is why you've seen a little bit less content. And then on top of all that, we decided to make a move. There was nothing left for us in the Bay Area there, so we decided to move out to the countryside, which was arguably the best thing that we ever did. Since we've moved out here, my wife's been able to quit her job, publish her book, and she's basically working full-time at the bait shop. She's packing everyone's orders. The little thank you note you see at the end of each one of your receipts, that's my wife. So huge shout out to her for helping out. But again, because we've been able to live off of my W-2 job, let's say, all of the money from 2025 has been able to be put right back into expanding the business. And we've been saving up. We were able to double our business in 2025. So year 2, we were able to double the revenue that we did in year 1. And again, that's a huge shout out to all of you in the bait making community. It's great to know that there are other people out there that sincerely appreciate high quality product. You believe in what we're doing with the brand. And so we decided to take a big jump, and we did something pretty big. Yep, we invested in some shop space. I know it's a big move, but I definitely think it's the next step for 8-Bit Baits and the YouTube channel, and I think it's going to make for some pretty good content. It's a lot of stuff we can do now that we got a shop space in addition to the bait studio. So yeah, come on in. Let me show you around. Welcome to the new home of 8-Bit Baits. A whole whopping 1,000 square foot. We got 20 feet across by 50 feet long. Plenty of electrical power for any type of production that we might want to do. Both sides of the shop. We definitely have to get some outlets run. But I think we'll probably start off with just, packing and shipping. Down this wall here, definitely some general storage in the back. We're going to reserve this left side here, at least for now, for boat storage, perhaps maybe someday a production machine. I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to remove the studio from the house just yet, but eventually this wall could be a great spot for the actual, the filming set. But I do share this wall with another gentleman that does hot rods on the other side here, which is pretty cool. Maybe y'all will get to meet him someday. But this is his primary workstation there, so I think it's best that for our packing and shipping, we'll stay on this side of the shop. And I can even see eventually a nice little, steel mezzanine. We got extremely high roofs here, and then we could put a second story towards the back for some office space up top. Primarily though, we really need the space for just inventory, really. We've actually been sitting on 3 different color lines. We have 2 different color sets in the Moon Dust lineup, which we need to launch. We also have another Mica Shift color line to launch as well, but we just haven't really had the rack space in the garage at home in order to set all of that up. So I definitely think, packing and shipping, and then a lot of, storage down this wall here. This is really going to be the start of the expansion, for 8-bit. We'll be able to order in larger quantities, store in larger quantities, and hopefully get, bulk packaging and bulk pricing available. I know a lot of you with bait shops have been asking. So this gives us options. We definitely, we got room to expand. We're not going to use it all up, at once, but we do have our work cut out for us. The first thing we need to do is probably get Sweet and Low over here. So I got to pull that out of the other storage unit. We can try that together if you want. I just got a tow hitch installed on the TIE Fighter, and it's pretty low to the ground, and I don't know if this is going to work. So let's give it a shot. There's only one way to find out. There she is. That should hold everything in place. Yeah, she handles pretty good. First time towing Sweet and Low with the old golf cart here. I think this will do just nice. This will get us up to the ponds, no problem. All right, well, and fast forward a few days later, and we got, actually kind of everything moved into the shop. I actually went against my earlier thoughts. Of course, I was going to start off small, but we only had 3 days with the moving van, and I figured, you know what, might as well move everything in here. So I figured from a content perspective, it makes the most sense. We went ahead and moved the entire bait station in here as well. And we're going to have to get, makeshifty here with the French cleat wall, since we can't actually attach anything to the wall. You can see I have some uprights here that I've installed, part of the U-line workbench system. These are the tabletops I have here. Luckily, I went with the 1 3/4 maple, so I can actually drill into those. So you can see the wood back here behind me. That's today's goal, is to actually get all of the French cleats kind of cut to size, and then we'll try and hang those up on these makeshift kind of rafters that I've made, or support beams. You can see down the other side here, we have all of the 8-bit baits gear set up. We got lots of room for expansion. That's an entire pile of new gear waiting to be released down there. We got like 13 new Mica Shift colors in the entire Moon Dust line as well. So luckily, none of the orders have been delayed. For one of the first things we did was actually get the shop, the actual 8-bit portion of the shop up and running. That's obviously the most important. So moving towards the back of the shop, you can see we've got the wood shop all set up here. So we've got the table saw and our workbench back up and running. We have the planer and jointer there in the back, as well as our kind of chop saw here, band saw. So, I did a while back, actually, if you remember a long time ago, I subscribe to the Fish with Your Masterpiece course. I do intend on making my first wooden bait. So now that we got the wood shop set up, I'm gonna have airbrushing and everything set up here towards the front of the shop as well. Eventually, we'll be able to do our own wood baits in addition to all of the soft plastic baits. Now, I can't promise that they're gonna be any good, but they will definitely be my own version of a masterpiece, I'm sure. Now, the back of the shop is basically just going to be general and personal storage temporarily, but if you look, you can see the drum set hiding back there in the corner. That's right, we're going to get the drum set all set up. Are we going to have an impromptu live stream jam session someday? Look, I can't promise anything, okay, but you never know what the future holds. The first order of business, though, however, is getting all of this plywood and the select pine behind it turned into some French cleats that we can mount onto this system. Now you can see we have these freestanding posts here. They are made of decent steel and they are bolted in 4 different places along with double washered on the top and the bottom. I made sure to go extra strength. They are super sturdy. There's a little bit of, vibration, but the whole table is shaking when, when you do that. These things are pretty solid. So I have a feeling this will hold the plywood just fine. We are using 3/4 ply with some French cleats. And then, the weight of our shelving systems aren't that much. By the way, these are the new shelving systems available by PHRENCRAFT. I'll put links down below in the description. These are for sale now. They kind of did a soft launch to get up and running because they are all kind of cut to order, but you can get yourself, we have the pigment bottle shelves designed, as well as the glitter shelf designed as well to hold your 4-ounce glitter. So PHRENCRAFT is producing all of those. All I simply did was help with the design. This will all be covered in future videos, but this is just one of the many projects we've been working on. But all this gear we have, I'm finally going to be able to set up at the shop. Take a look at this here. This is a shooting star. I looked back at the receipt. I received this in October of 2023. So for over 2 years, this shooting star has been sitting sealed in the box because I just haven't had the power to set it up. So we're finally going to be able to set that up here at the shop. We got our Fishing All Out air vise here because we bought this at the same time that we were going to hook up the shooting star, but again, never got the power for it. And over here, we have our Fishing All Out hot plate because we do want to do some open pours as well. So this is all going to be able to be done now. We have our huge 12-foot workbench over there, and eventually there'll be a lead making station and airbrush station right there towards the front of the shop for exhaust purposes. So yeah, we're going to basically have woodworking back here up with the bait making up there. So a full-fledged soft bait, hard bait shop, plus with the addition of the lakes and that we have access to. We have the mini boat, which is taking up room right now. I mean, once the tables are set up, these are all basically the molds. So these boxes will all go away. Molds will be stored under the tables as soon as we're finished. And then there's plenty of room for me to pull the big boat in here, because I'm thinking about with the golden mussel and everything we have right now, I can pull the small boat back here and I'll pull the large boat in. I can actually quarantine it from the Delta for 30 days so I could fish Lake Folsom here with my pops. So, time's running out with, availability to spend time with the old man. So I think I'd like to get some fishing in with him while we can. And of course, we got plenty of room for the golf cart, aka the TIE Fighter, to fit in here and charge as well. So yeah, I mean, super excited for what 2026 is going to hold. We weren't really intending on getting a shop. It just, the opportunity popped up. I was, several people down on the list. Just happened the timing wasn't right for others. And because we had a little bit of money saved up from the business, we were able to jump on it. So, here we are. We finally have an official bait making shop, which is, close enough to the house to which we can get to it easily here with the TIE Fighter. And I think it's going to make for some great content. And, a special shout out to all of you who are watching, subscribing, the viewership, those of you who are supporting by making 8-Bit Baits orders. None of this would be possible if it wasn't for all of you. This whole channel started as an experiment back in 2023, and we've just put you know, everything back into the channel, everything back into the business. We've been able to help it, you know, grow, I think, in a decent speed. And a lot of that is because of you guys. And, you know, I think just case in point, I'm a firm believer, you know, there's a higher power here at work. And, you know, if you output good energy into the universe, good things will happen in turn. And we are going to have to deal with that. That is a plane taking off because this is an active airport. So that will be interesting to film with. So special thanks to all of you. Special thanks to the man upstairs as well. We are very blessed, my wife and I both, to be able to have this shop, work in it, and bring a lot of you guys some killer content. So I'm super excited. And with that, I got to get to work hanging these shelves over here. So you guys can sit back and relax, and I'm going to get to work. It is dumping rain, but we got rainbows in the sky, baby. That's right, because our project is now complete. We are all cleaned up. Finally got the last of the French cleats hung up on the wall. We can start hanging everything up and getting everything unpacked to make up a little bit more room in here. But before I move the workbench in, I just wanted to show y'all the setup we were using because I know a lot of you have asked questions about, you know, what type of workbench we have, and whew, oh, goodness gracious, that rain coming down. So this is a Uline workbench. This is actually their packing and shipping tables. I have a total of 12 feet. These are two 6-foot tables. I believe you can order them all the way up to 10 foot long. They have a couple different options for the top. I went with 1 3/4 inch thick maple just because I like a wooden top, especially for what we're doing with soft plastic baits. They're nice and sturdy. I can just bolt into it or screw stuff into it, and if it ever gets damaged, I can always just go ahead and buy another top. So I ended up kind of, you know, making a little makeshift rig here. These are actually the uprights that come from their workstation system. So you can see we just bolted these through here to the back of the table, and they're plenty sturdy. They hold up to 500 pounds. And so we're using that as the back brace here for our French cleat panels. And so we have two 6-foot panels, and those are bolted through right here in 3 different sections. So those go all the way through and of course bolt in to the back right here. And it's nice, one of the French cleats actually conceals one of the bolts right there. So we had to use a little Forstner bit, make a hole in the back of it, and it's nice and stealth. You won't even be able to see it once it's all set up. Cool thing about these tables also is they have knockouts here for power. So they have these little boxes you can add on. They just bolt in from behind. They work off of an extension cable. And then if I take you all the way around to the back here and take you underneath, for each of these tables we have a long strip right here. So we have a long power strip. Each of these takes up to 15 amps. Which is nice, so all the power that we need to run a couple items off of it. And you know, I think the goal eventually, we're going to get 2 circuits here because we want to run 2 different microwaves. We'll get another 2 circuits here in the middle, one to run each set of table power, so for like our hot plate, heat gun, things of that nature. And then we'll get another 2 circuits of power run down here. Even though we have a Shooting Star Mini, this is where it'll sit. That only needs one 20 amp circuit, but if we ever want to upgrade to the large full-size Shooting Star, we'll have 2 circuits here as well. And then of course we'll run more power back here, and we'll bring 220 all the way back so we can get some power to the back of the wood shop, and maybe even drop 220 or 3-phase here, because if we were ever to do production, this is kind of like the general area that it would be. So I have some great ideas for the shop. You know, if I can get permission, I'd love to put a freestanding mezzanine back there and do a raised office space because we do have extremely high ceilings in here, lots of wasted space up above. So general storage for now, it is a start, but enough rambling. I'm going to get unpacking, and I will see you all when the tables are all put together. All right, and just like that, with the power of video editing, several hours deep into the night later, we have the entire workstation completely set up. So we have all of our shelves by PHRENCRAFT. Those are up on the wall. We'll have more of those coming. Plenty of room over here for the injectors. You can see the shooting star. That's going to be its permanent location right there. But we are going to leave that for a separate proper unboxing. So stay tuned for the shooting star unboxing coming soon. We got our air vise, our fishing all out hot plate. We have our injection station over here. One microwave for now, but soon to be two. Plenty of room to carry our pot over as well for our vacuum pot there. And yeah, all of our molds down below. We have one side over here, the right bench is dedicated to only Epic bait molds. And then we have all of our other various molds and supplies over here on the other bench. And yeah, whew, I'm falling over the boat. Stupid boat. So yeah, there we go. The shop is in full swing. We are ready to start making some baits. I'm super excited. Can't wait. This is finally set up. It's been a long time coming, and finally we can start making some baits inside the new shop. All right, well, this is it. This is going to be the backdrop for the Baitchuckin channel for the foreseeable future. Pretty excited, you know, and again, I wouldn't be able to do all of this if it wasn't for all of you watching. So thank you so much for all the support. We are truly blessed, my wife and I, to be able to run the business here and to be able to have the shop and to, like I said earlier, be able to take all of that money and dump it right back into the business, into the shop. So looking forward to a wonderful 2026. We have several product launches coming up in the very soon months. So January, February, March, you're going to see several product drops coming from 8-Bit Baits and a lot of really cool stuff coming from Epic Bait Molds. I can't talk about it yet. There's been teasers, but Adam has some really cool stuff in store for all of you as well, and maybe even more combos with Epic Bait Molds. I've already said too much. Until next time, y'all, you know who it is. Your friend on this end, Michael, out here around these Delta sloughs, reminded you to keep on chucking. I'll get back with you.